In this mini video, we're going to introduce Bootstrap, a popular CSS framework to support you in designing websites. Bootstrap supports responsive web design, in which the layout of the page will automatically adjust for different screen sizes and devices, for example, mobile phones or tablets. It supports the mobile-first design philosophy, where you start by designing for the smallest screen, where you have the most restrictions, and then work your way up. It also has an extensive collection of pre-built components, things like tables, forms, navigation bars, with many beautifully styled examples ready to copy and paste from the Bootstrap website. So in this video, we're going to start from scratch. We're going to go to the official Bootstrap website, look in the documentation, and copy the starter template that it provides, which represents a minimal example of a bootstrapped website. Now, all this example does is display a Hello World header on your screen using the default font of the Bootstrap library. Before we add anything more meaningful to this page, however, let's have a quick look at the different parts of this starter template. First, we have this doc type declaring that this is an HTML5 document. This is required, otherwise some styling can go a bit funky. Next, we have a meta tag concerned with the viewport, which is the user's visible area of the web page. We use this element to set the width of the page to the same as the width of the screen on the user's device, for example, a mobile phone. We also use it to specify that the page should not be scaled when it is first loaded. To see the difference, take a look at this example on W3 Schools. On the left, we have a page here without this viewport meta tag, and you can see that the page has been automatically scaled to fit on the device's screen. On the right, the viewport tag is used, and you can see that everything is nicely aligned and there is no scaling. Next, within the header element, we need to load the Bootstrap CSS file. And finally, before the closing tag of your body element, we need to enable some JavaScript plugins that are required by some of the Bootstrap components. Okay, it's time to add some actual content to this page, and I'm going to do so within a container. In Bootstrap, containers are used to wrap around, pad, and sometimes center content of your website. We can set one up as a div element styled with the container class from Bootstrap. Now, of course, we're going to have to put some actual content within it to see what a container does. So I'm going to add 5 paragraphs and generate some lorem ipsum style dummy text to paste into them. The benefit of using this kind of dummy text, of course, is that it's less distracting to the eye than, say, the word test copy-pasted over and over and over again. Okay, so you can see that the text in the container is nicely padded. What I also want to show you is that if I adjust the size of the window, the maximum width of the container is adjusted too. Notice that when the window is wider, it has a fixed width that varies according to some different breakpoints. But when I reduce the width as much as possible, you can see that it fills 100% of the viewport. Now in Google Chrome, you can actually properly simulate the viewport of a mobile phone. What you need to do is press F12, and then you can click on this icon here to toggle the device toolbar, and then you can change the size of the viewport and see how your website reacts. You can also change it to the screen size of various popular mobile phones and tablets to see how your content would be displayed. So that's a responsive fixed width container in Bootstrap, but if that's not to your liking, an alternative would be to use a fluid container which fills 100% of the viewport. Whee! Now, if you want a container that is somewhere between these two types that I've shown you, you can have a look at the Bootstrap website and you can see a few variations over here which remove a number of the breakpoints. So for example, container XL over here removes all of the breakpoints except for the largest one, so you only ever see this fixed width behavior on the largest screens. That's it for this first video. We've introduced the Bootstrap CSS framework for responsive and mobile-first web design. We showed a very minimal example to get us going. We looked into the viewport meta tag and showed how it can be used to adjust the width of the web page to make it better for our mobile phone users. I showed you how Chrome could be used to simulate some different device viewports. And of course, we also looked at containers, the basic layout elements of Bootstrap, and compared a few different types of those. See you next time.